Okay, we save. And we just go right straight into it. February 25th, 9:47 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby number 2. Okay, this is the Defendant Lobby, alright. But there's no defendant. I've been trying to reach Lana all morning. Where could she be? And where's Ema, for that matter? It almost seems as if something's been happening behind the scenes. Edgeworth! Knowing you, you've already figured it out. Who the owner of their 7777777 ID number is, that is. Well, I have a pretty strong hunch. Looks like I'm not the only one who's figured it out. No. The only reason this trial didn't reach a verdict yesterday is because there was still room for doubt regarding this ID record. If that number does belong to whom you suspect, then no doubt will remain. After all, he hasn't been officially charged with anything. True. Not yet. In any event, once all doubt has been removed from the list, I can call for a ruling. 5 minutes, right? And Chief Prosecutor Skye will be found guilty. But she didn't do it. I figured you'd say as much. That's why I came here, to hear what you had to say. This is the first time he's ever done something like this. Lana's hiding something, and the only way we'll ever know the truth is to draw it out of her. The truth? Everything goes back to the SL9 incident. Don't be stupid. Today's the last day of the trial. We don't have time to reminisce about the past. I almost bit my tongue that time. That depends on you. If she's found guilty, you'll lose your only chance to find out what really happened. I'll think about it. See you in court, right? Yes, you will. Because you're the prosecutor. This is it. If I'm ever going to find out what Chief Gant has...
Hey, streamer, cast Hydrate.
It's now. Thanks, Kitty. And that's for you too, Colette.
Yes, dear.
Hey, you gotta keep hydrated.
Uh-huh.
See, even Kitty agrees. February 26th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 9. We're on Cloud 9! I mean, court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Normally, this is when the prosecution puts forward its opening statement. But before that, the police chief has a proposal to make. Chief Gant, who just appeared out of thin air. Morning, folks. How's everyone doing? Hey, Udgy, been back to the pool yet? No, I've been drowning enough as it is in my work. Oh, that's a good one. Don't think I could top that. If you don't mind me asking, Chief, what exactly is your proposal of yours? And the music suddenly goes. Lana, that is to say, the defendant, has asked me if she could speak directly to the court. She wants to do what? Having heard what she intends to say, I feel she should be granted her request. In the end, it should save everyone a lot of time and trouble. Great. What's this all about, defendant? Can't you think you're a magician? Yeah, well, hopefully
I'd just
not.
like to make one simple request and I'll be finished.
Well then, what's your request?
Your Honor, I'd like to put an immediate end to this trial.
And there you go. Huh?
I'm not gonna find you guilty, Lana. Come on. I confess to all charges against me. On February 21st of this year, I murdered Detective Bruce Goodman in the underground parking lot of the prosecutor's office.
No, Lana! You can't! Your Honor, the defendant's claim does not change the defense's plea.
In that case, Mr. Wright, I no longer require your services.
But Lana,
Your Honor, I hereby forfeit my right to an attorney. The prosecution may lack direct evidence against me, but it has sufficiently proven its case through testimony and circumstantial evidence. I would like you to render your verdict now, if you please.
Well, the defendant certainly has the right to self-representation. Her request is legally valid, although this is an unprecedented situation. Indeed, it appears there's no further need to continue with this trial, even if Mr. Wright may feel otherwise.
this can't be happening.
It appears the time for the verdict has arrived. The court finds the defendant.
I figured as much. One moment, Your Honor.
Mr. Edgeworth?
The prosecution has not yet proven the defendant guilty beyond reasonable doubt. Any ruling at this stage would certainly be premature. Come now, Worthy. Come now, Worthy. I understand this is a difficult time for you. Why don't you just be a good little boy and keep your mouth shut, hmm? Oh, I think not. I don't think I care for your tone, Chief Gant. What? Creating another fabrication to cover up your past mistakes. Sorry, but I'm no longer the naive little boy you would have me be. With this sudden confession from the defendant, it's obvious to me that some kind of deal was struck behind the scenes. Some kind of deal, hmm? Not everyone operates as you do, Worthy. I thought so. Your Honor, the prosecution would like to change its first witness.
Oh, to whom?
Appears she canvassed the clever nut pulling strings here. Yeah, I think it's obvious. As his first witness, the prosecution would like to call Miss Ema Skye. I request the court hears her testimony.
Mr. Edgeworth, I'm exercising my right to self-representation. I don't think we need to continue.
I don't care what you think, Skye.
Huh.
The exposure of truth sometimes results in tragedy. However, no matter how tragic the truth may be, it would be an even greater tragedy to avert one's eyes from it. Oh, he's going to get his guilty verdict no matter what now.
Very well. The court shall grant the prosecution's request. If that's okay with you, right, Chief Gant?
Worthy. You'll live to regret this. Mark my words. Miss Ema Skye, please take the stand. Looks like Edgeworth has decided to take the horse by the reins. What the hell are we there if she fired us? Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
My name is Ema Skye. My occupation? I'm Lana's little sister and I want to be a scientific investigator.
2 years ago, you encountered the serial killer Joe Dirk of the Joe Dirk killings. Is this correct?
Yes. I'm trying my hardest to forget about that though.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to recall those events one more time.
Mr. Edgeworth, please remember this trial concerns the murder of Detective Goodman. Is an incident that was resolved 2 years ago really all that relevant?
Yes, it most certainly is.
Well, okay then.
You sure gave in fast. Now, please testify about what happened to you 2 years ago. The trip to yesteryear has finally begun. found to leave the truth behind this trial. Okay, 2 years ago.
I was waiting in my sister's office that day. A man came running in and took me hostage. Neil Marshall rescued me. But I'll never forget what I saw in that instant. The man raised up his knife and stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
Yeah, it's a good thing you weren't harmed.
I passed out. I don't remember much.
That's understandable. However, please tell me, Mr. Edgeworth, what does this testimony have to do with Detective Goodman's murder?
Well, that will soon become apparent, Your Honor. You've got to admire him for his courage, considering he has no evidence.
Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Go ahead, Lana. Unless you're trying to rehire Phoenix.
Uh,
I guess we got no choice but to go with Phoenix. Alright, let's do this one. 2 years ago, the defendant was a detective at the police department, correct?
yes, she was second in command under the deputy chief of police, Gant. My sister, she was the best detective ever.
Yes, I remember. Deputy Chief Gant and Ema Skye used to be quite the pair.
I believe they share the same office.
That's right. I'd always sit at my sister's desk and dream about playing that organ. I wanted to play it that day too.
The police department and the prosecutor's office held a ceremony that day.
Lana promised to take me to dinner after she finished her work.
A man?
Yes, Joe Dirk. He was a serial killer.
Joe Dirk was brought in for questioning on the day of that ceremony. We were desperate to get anything on him that would lead to an arrest.
When he saw his chance, he fled the room, right?
Upon fleeing the room, Dirk proceeded to take the elevator. He must have been in a panic because the elevator was going up. Then, he ran into Skye and Gant's office.
There was a lot of noise coming from outside, so I opened up the door to have a look. That's when I saw him.
What was the prosecutor doing there? That day, there were two people present during Dirk's questioning. Deputy Chief Damon Gant and Prosecutor Neil Marshall. I almost forgot about Gant. Neil Marshall had just received the King of Prosecutors Award. Young and dedicated, he went straight to the questioning room after the ceremony.
I assumed would be why he was the first one after Dirk.
When Dirk grabbed me, I thought I was as good as dead.
And that's when Prosecutor Marshall came running in?
I don't clearly remember what happened then. But
Okay, this is a big one I'm going to press on here now. And you'll see why. Can you tell us about that?
Mr. Marshall jumped on Dirk just then. The lights went out.
The light?
It was just about this time of year. There was a terrible storm going on and lightning struck nearby.
So, the electricity went out.
Wait a minute. If it was pitch dark in that room, you shouldn't have been able to see anything, right?
Right, but just then lightning flashed again outside. That sudden flash left an unforgettable image of the scene in my mind.
I see.
I told a detective about what I saw then.
The detective?
Yes, Detective Goodman. He was in charge of the case.
Detective Bruce Goodman. The victim. Yeah, let's hear more. Because I do want to hear it. So, you spoke to Detective Goodman about this. 2 years ago?
Yes, that's what's so scary about this trial.
And you told Detective Goodman about what you saw?
Yes, but at the time, the words just wouldn't come out. That's why I drew a picture.
A picture? Yes. I don't think she mentioned that before.
Well, Mr. Wright, have you heard enough?
I think we're going to ask about the picture.
Yeah.
This picture the witness drew. I believe it has a very important meaning. But the list of evidence I was given 2 years ago didn't contain a picture.
Witness, would you mind if we added this statement to your testimony?
Yes, Your Honor. I drew a picture of that scene once, but it seems to have been lost.
You drew a picture of the scene you witnessed, right?
Yes, I want to do everything I could to help the investigation. I can still see it now, whenever I close my eyes.
Like just then? That's strange. I took over the case after Prosecutor Marshall died. Yet, I never received any picture. Perhaps the witness is mistaken?
Well, I did try. I swear, I'm not just imagining it.
This picture that Emma drew, that reminds me. I guess I should check the evidence again. Well, anyway, let's continue. This scene that imprinted an image in your mind. Can you please describe it to us?
The man. The man raised up his knife and he stabbed Mr. Marshall in the chest.
I'm going back to this because I don't have to press on that.
What does the scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000!
That's literally what we feel about this one. Okay, so I'm actually going to present something on this one. Welcome back to Zelda, by the way. Let's go to find the evidence list. I want to check out this list. Can we actually zoom in on it? Yeah, we can. Oh, well, that's pointless. But we're going to present it anyway. Mr. Edgeworth. This little girl put all her heart into drawing that picture. And yet, you would insist on denying its existence? Huh? Hey, I'm not the bad guy. All I'm saying is that, as the prosecutor for that case, I wasn't handed such a picture. That may well be, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Behold.
This is the evidence list of the SL9 incident.
Please turn it over, Your Honor.
Turn it over? Turn it... Ah!
Maybe I should turn that picture over?
What's this?
There it is right there.
Yes!
Yes. Wait, hold on. Yes, what is that?
Hey! That's the picture I drew!
Indeed. It appears two men wrestling here. In fact, one's got a belt on how to hit the other one in the head. I mean...
What's the meaning of this? Thank you. There's no way trying to support people on Twitch Mobile. Only one stream at a time. Try not to go over the internet data cap. Okay, so my phone's on Wi-Fi, so the data won't affect. I mean, is that a possibility? I mean, if you get Wi-Fi, it is a good thing to put it on there. What's the meaning of this? What are you doing with that list? Me? The only prosecutor in charge should have access to that list.
These lists, they're different from each other.
What?
It would appear, Mr. Edgeworth.
I turn Wi-Fi off on my phone. I have unlimited. Oh, okay.
That evidence list you handed 2 years ago was incomplete.
Mine will slow down after 35 gigs of service used, even if I have unlimited.
These two lists fit together to form one. You can see the marks here, where they were torn apart from each other.
So you see, Mr. Edgeworth, it's quite obvious of what happened. 2 years ago, only half of the evidence in that case ever reached you. What? What?
Order! Order! We got no pizza here. But, Miss Skye, why did you draw your picture on the back of such an important list?
Because that's what Detective Goodman handed me in the questioning room, Your Honor.
Wait a minute. If this list was torn in half, then that means... Your Honor!
Are you alright, Mr. Wright? Your eyes are bulging from your head.
Yeah, so are yours. If the evidence list was torn in half, then there might be more of the drawing on the back of Mr. Edgeworth's list.
Yes, that's quite conceivable. Mr. Edgeworth?
It's possible. It's possible. Let's see.
Is something wrong?
You even have to ask. Looks like he's about to pop a vein. Sir, Your Honor. There is indeed something drawn in the back of my list. Is that thing? The blue badger! Is she made it more this weekend, Cole? Probably not. I gotta do some recording for YouTube, so more than likely it's gonna be that.
That's that thing. That thing that was dancing in the evidence room.
Clearly, this act of vandalism is the work of a certain chief of detectives. This seems out of scrap paper. Evidence list restored and updated in the court record.
Very well. Witness, will you please testify about this picture you drew 2 years ago?
Huh? Oh, yes, sir, Your Honor.
What's wrong with Emma? She seemed to be thinking about something when she was looking at that picture. Alright, Emma's picture. Do you take turns between streaming the two? I don't stream on YouTube. I record videos for YouTube and upload them. If you want, I can always post them in your server, if you ever want to take a look at them.
This is the picture I drew 2 years ago. The flash of lightning was so bright all I could see were shadows. After that, I must have fainted. The picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
The games currently are Final Fantasy VII and the stream of Mario Party I did last year.
To think a flash of lightning could burn such an image in your mind.
Thanks to that, though, she was able to show us exactly what she saw.
Well, I don't see any contradictions here. This clearly shows Joe Dark about the murder Prosecutor Neil Marshall. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Okay, well. Guess I'm gonna press again. Did you draw this picture right after the incident?
I think I drew it 2 or 3 days later. At first I was in such a state of shock that I couldn't do anything.
No, I haven't played Mario Party 3 yet. Actually, that's going to be on, I guess, the Saturday nights in 2024. So I'll be looking for people for that for sure. During that time, the investigation team was reorganized. Detective Goodman was placed in charge, under the direction of Gant and Ema Skye. 2 or 3 days later, the memory should still have been fresh in our mind.
Excuse me, witness.
Oh, no, I'm saying I'll be looking for people. I'm waiting on one of them, actually. Phantom Gamer. He's done the first two. He wants to do the third one with me, so it might be him. And I'll be looking for others as well to play with me on Saturday nights.
Excuse me, witness. But can you please tell us why this picture is painted all black?
The flash of lightning was so bright, all I could see were shadows.
That'd be a good kitty too. So, at the time you didn't even know it was Mr. Marshall who had come to your rescue?
No, I couldn't see him clearly. The lightning was so bright, and I was knocked to the floor.
You were knocked to the floor?
Derek had a tight grip on me, but when Mr. Marshall jumped on him, I was knocked away. I turned around, and that's when the lightning flashed.
Just gonna hop on out for the night. We have reaching with the front seat more. Yeah, have a good night, Zola. Thanks for stopping by.
Good night.
Poor Emma. I'm just glad she wasn't hurt. What happened after the lightning flashed?
After that, I must have paid him.
You mean, you didn't see the actual murder take place?
No, I'm sorry.
The flash of lightning only drove off the darkness for a split second. Not only that, but the trauma of the situation understandably caused the witness to faint. Do you really need to torture this girl any further? What? Hey, I'm not the bad guy here.
Anyway, this picture shows exactly what I saw in that instant.
Sorry for asking so many times, but are you sure you drew exactly what you saw?
Of course, this is the exact scene.
It wasn't influenced in any way from your talks with the detectives? Are you insinuating we somehow manipulated her memory, Mr. Wright? No, of course not. Better watch out or he might find some way to cut my salary.
I drew this picture before I heard anything from the detectives, so I don't think anyone's story would have influenced me.
Mr. Wright, is there something that's bothering you about this picture?
Huh? Oh, well... That's strange. She claims this exact scene is what was imprinted in her mind. And yet, there's clearly a contradiction here.
Yeah, what?
Okay, I'm going to go back to the fourth statement. And I think what we're going to do is present the autopsy report. Not Goodman's. We should have a second one here. Yeah, here it is. Neil's autopsy report. Stabbed in the back, died from a punctured heart and lung. A knife tip was in the wound. So, that's where the contradiction lies.
How?
You'll find out now shortly. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this picture of the witness drew contains a blatant contradiction.
What? Well, I still remember it just like it was yesterday.
Mr. Wright, perhaps it would be faster if you simply pointed out this contradiction for us. What part of this picture contradicts the autopsy report?
What about that thing in his hand?
You mean this right here?
Yeah, it doesn't look like a knife. It looks
I know.
like
It looks like something that was broken.
Yeah, like the jar.
The contradiction, of course, lies here. Take a look at the knife the man is holding. If you look at it closely, you can see its tip is broken.
Even I don't have to look closer to see that, Mr. Wright.
But Mr. Wright, look at the evidence. See the murder weapon? Its tip is broken too.
If I recall, The tip of the knife was found broken off in the victim's body.
It was a conclusive piece of evidence that proved Joe Dirk was the murderer.
I'm afraid it's not so simple, Emma. And where, pray tell, could you possibly see a problem? It's obvious, really. The victim suffered a single stab wound to the back. If the victim was only stabbed once, then the murder weapon should not yet be broken.
Ah! What is the meaning of this?
Perhaps the knife was broken beforehand. Sorry, but I'm afraid that's not possible. The tip of the knife was found inside the victim's body. If it was broken beforehand, it couldn't possibly wind up there.
That's right. But what does this mean?
We're having an objection fest here. The tip of the knife was undeniably discovered within the victim's body. The only possible explanation is the witness's memory is mistaken. That's why I asked her so many times if she was so sure she remembered correctly. I believe you were annoyed at the time. But she was sure she remembered correctly. But there's no other way to explain this inconsistency. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. There is another explanation. Have you forgotten already? About a little something called falsified evidence? You're treading on thin ice, right? All I'm saying, and hear me out, is that the broken knife tip might be the piece of evidence that was forged. You can't deny the possibility. No. Arrgh. I think we got it right there.
Order! 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 Are you saying that the investigation really was corrupted?
Your Honor, please allow me to once again go over the events that took place the day of the murder. The police department and the prosecutor's office were holding a ceremony that day. After receiving the King of Prosecutors Award at the ceremony, Neo Marshal questioned Joe Dirk along with Demon Gant. During his questioning, Joe Dirk fled the room. And why don't you go ahead on...
Marshal chased after him.
That's me. That's me. But
sorry.
why don't you go on to sleep? Because you're getting tired.
Oh,
I can take over from here.
but then I missed the thing.
There's always the VOD.
What?
There's always the VOD. I'm trying to finish this tonight anyway. So we can start the next game next week.
No, I just want to see how this thing ends.
Alright, fine. Go get some coffee then.
How much more longer is this thing?
Oh, there's going to be a while yet.
Oh, but I gotta work in the morning.
Exactly. I promise you. I'll show you how it ends.
Okay.
Okay. I'll even do it by showing you the VOD.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh yeah, I will. Prosecutor Marshall chased after him, and he was killed by Dirk. It is my belief that somewhere in this story, there is a lie.
I'm not lying. The man really was holding a broken knife.
If that's true, then there's no other way around it. This couldn't have been the actual murder weapon. Huh? There must have been another broken knife.
What are the chances there being two broken knives?
Another broken knife besides Joe Dirk's?
Mm.
Oh, I think I know where this is going. Could there be another one? You know, just a thought. But the King of Prosecutors Award
Yeah.
did show a knife in it. And that actually did look broken. I think there is another knife. That's what I'm going with. If the witness in this is adamant about the accuracy of what she saw, it can't just be explained away by a simple observational error.
Mr. Wright?
In that instance, Emma really did see a broken knife.
I assume then that you have some information about this other broken knife. If so, please feel free to enlighten us.
The murder weapon is already broken prior to the murder. There's only one way. Take a look at this. Here is the real murder weapon. Okay, King of Prosecutors Trophy, believe it or not, doesn't contain that knife. But, in the picture, try to find it, not the evidence floor plans, this one here. There's a knife there. You see that right there? That looks like it can be hauled out. And I'm not mistaken by that.
Where's the knife thingy?
If you take a look at what on the trophy itself, look at the letter K.
Okay.
See the shield? It's a sword and shield.
Oh.
But if I go back to this one right here, what's missing?
The sword.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go ahead and
Let me
actually
see
present the picture.
the other one? The picture?
See? I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
I'm actually gonna go with that. The answer lies in the past. 2 years in the past. Right here inside this picture. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. This is a picture of the awards ceremony. Ah!
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
It's the broken murder weapon. Notice the award prosecutor Marshall is holding?
That's a broken knife.
As we earlier concluded, the knife in the drawing was not Joe Dark's knife. That being the case, the knife the witness saw, in all likelihood, from this award.
Order! Order! Order!
Neil Marshall was awarded the King of Prosecutors that day. As an award, he was given this broken shield and knife. When he chased after Joe Dark, he pulled out this knife. Being a prosecutor, he did not carry a pistol. This broken knife was the only weapon he had in his dangerous situation. But that can't be. Oh? And why not, Mr. Edgeworth? Because if the King of Prosecutors Award knife was the murder weapon, then the murderer and the victim would be reversed. What do you mean? I mean, this man raising a knife would have been Prosecutor Neil Marshall. Oh! Here's a revelation for you.
What?
Neil Marshall's actually the guy standing up.
But the prosecutor's the one who actually died.
That's true. What's going on here? I think one outsmarts the other in each case on this one. It seems Mr. Wright has been a bit too eager to jump to conclusions.
Hold it. Hey, I remember now. I remember everything.
Witness!
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it?
would you show me your evidence list again, please?
His list? The one with that picture scribbled on the back?
Oh, here we go.
I knew it. This picture. I'm the one who drew it.
So she drew the blue badger. Huh. What? You drew that?
That's right. The list wasn't torn in half all the time I drew this picture.
Careful, Emma. You might remember what you shouldn't.
All this time I've been trying hard to forget. I must have locked this part away deep inside of me.
Perhaps it would be best if we added this to the witness's testimony.
Why? What's different about that one?
She drew the blue badger on one side, and the other side she drew the other scene. So she's going to do a recollection here.
Would you please tell us what you've recalled, Miss Skye?
Yes, Your Honor.
First the knife mix-up, and now the blue badger? This should be interesting.